This car leaves nobody indifferent. You have a lot of people that just give you a thumbs up, or just, people from the police who just actually ask you to stop and want to be on the picture with the cars. Now I get stopped by police not for a ticket or for speeding, but just because they want to be on the picture with the car. I was always fascinated with the special relationship that Porsche had with police cars. The 100,000th and the millionth car delivered by Porsche were both police cars. Over 1,000 cars were delivered by Porsche to different police forces all around the world.
But the most special series of police Porsche cars ever produced was a limited series of 20 vehicles he made for the Belgian National Police. My name is Ari Epstein and I drive a 1976 Porsche 911 Carrera 2.7 MFI of the Belgian gendarmerie.
It is a little bit of police work itself. Actually, a lot of research went into finding the car. I had the help of a person called Geert, who is an expert in these special cars, and I called him up saying, well, actually, I think I found what I was looking for 2 years. I was able to have a list of all the police cars that were delivered to the Belgian police in 1976, and that VIN number was actually part of the list. So of course I needed to do a double and a triple check to make sure and to ascertain that it was really a Belgian police car, because only very few of those police cars actually survived. For 30 years, this car hasn't seen sunlight, hasn't seen the daylight, was just stored away, and it still had the original blue light. It had the sirens delivered with it, and from an interior perspective, it was really fully original. So I was able to just, clean it up and bring it back to life. I took upon me this mission to bring back this car. The police officers that were privileged enough to drive these cars needed to pass through very stringent courses and tests. Because these cars were really difficult to handle. It's a narrow body car, and it sits a little bit lighter on the road than the wider body RSs and Carrera 2.7s. This car, without fuel and without occupants, weighs less than a ton. This is also a no-thrills car. It has no ABS, no ASR. There were open roof, so the driver could be busy with driving the car, whilst the co-pilot police officer could stand up and signal other users of the highway. It had a maximum speed of over 240 kilometers an hour. Until 1983, this was the fastest police car in the world. These cars were driven literally all the time. The police crew would come into base and new crew would actually sit in the car whilst the engine was still running. So the old crew didn't even take the time to actually shut off the engine, and they would just, drive along again. And these cars had between 300 and 500,000 kilometers on the odometer. Unfortunately, most of these cars were destroyed actually during duty, or later on modified. Some wide fenders were added, etc. And only 3 of these cars still are in existence in their original police trim, one of which is at the Belgian Museum. This car is fired by the 911/83 engine, which is the Carrera 2.7 RS engine, the 210 horsepower engine. And at that time, this was the most powerful atmospheric mechanically fuel-injected engine of the Porsche range, and for many years to come actually. These mechanically fuel-injected engines are super responsive. You touch the throttle even very slightly and you immediately get a huge linear increase in power. sound of these engines is absolutely visceral. You really feel the throttle response on an immediate base. That's also the reason why the Carrera RS in 1973 is actually, I would say today, the most mythical of all air-cooled produced 911s. This car shares the same heart with the mythical Carrera RS. I love the Targa, I love the clean line of the Targa. It's one of the only RS models or 911-83 engine models that doesn't have a ducktail or a big spoiler. It's a very humble car, but it's a very, very powerful car. It's huge fun to drive. You know, you can rev it up to 7,200 RPM, and it's always an enjoyment to take it out. And today, after 11 years of loyal services and 30 years in a barn, I still take it out all the time because I think that these cars are meant to be driven. It's just to showcase that even today it's still possible to find, you know, these very rare cars. Even today, you know, in a world where collectors actually are hunting and have deep pockets and really want these cars, even today it is possible to find these special cars. You just need to make sure you're more passionate than the person next to you.